So for once, you are in the car with me and I'm not on my way to work and I'm not on my way to school. I think this is the first time that's happened. I pretty much never have a day off, ever. I'm off today and I have 2 weeks worth of errands to run and a million movies to watch. School has been awesome. I'm really loving it. I have been trying to pay for school completely with eBay money. So I've just been selling stuff on eBay. It started out with selling a bunch of wrestling figures, and I sold a bunch of sneakers and some Supreme stuff, and that's what I was using to pay for school. So I've done about half of it so far with that, and I'm just constantly posting stuff on eBay. And I thought a lot of selling a ton of movies, and I thought, you know, since this is kind of a horror movie show, it might be something that, you know, somebody watching this might want to buy some of them. They're all listed really cheap, but I'm going to go ahead and put in the description below a link to my eBay page if you want to go and check them out. You know, a lot of these auctions are starting at like 99 cents or $2 or something. I know I'm about to put like all the Critters movies and House on Haunted Hill, and some of them are DVDs, some of them are Blu-rays. That's enough of an ad. Every podcast I listen to has some kind of dick pill ad, and, you know, fully 100% willing to sell out and do ads for dick pills. You know, I put a lot of thought into them, and I think that I can really make them work with the theme. What a terrifying film it was. Speaking of terrifying, what could be more terrifying than being unable to please your partner in the bedroom? Are you having troubles in your marital bed? When times get hard, do you go soft? If this sounds like you, then visit w.com. Use promo code SLASHER to save 10%. Make your partner scream, not your wallet. So as you know, I watch a ton of movies. Every chance I get, I'm watching something. I don't have enough time really on the show to go in depth on all of the movies that I watch. So we're gonna start doing this thing that I'm tentatively calling the Movie Pit. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you see me talk about movies a lot. If you don't, why don't you? Why are you not following me on Instagram and Twitter? Go do that right now. I want to tell you real quick about a couple of movies. I'm not going to go too in-depth into them because that's not what this segment is. The first movie is a movie called Searching, which has one of the guys from Harold and Kumar. I don't remember his name. It's the one that didn't go into politics, though. And it's about his daughter going missing and the search for her, and it's all kind of done through like webcam footage and cell phone footage and that kind of thing. Made me cry in the first 5 minutes, and kept me invested in the characters, and, you know, you really care as it unfolds. So I really dug it. The second one is a movie that was recommended to me by a bunch of people, and I finally listened to them, and thank God I did. This movie called The Void, kind of like a throwback to me. Felt like an 80s monster movie, that kind of thing. Sort of like when you watch Stranger Things and it feels like an 80s feel, kind of that nostalgia. And it just had that feeling to me, and maybe it's just that I associate those kind of monster movies with that time period. But really dug it. Definitely something you should check out. It's on Shudder right now, and maybe on Netflix. It was on Netflix at some point. Anyway, Searching, The Void, check out both of those. At the school, we meet a lot of interesting characters, a lot of people who tell you things that maybe you didn't even want to know. So you meet all sorts of people. This week I had a guy come in and sit in my chair, and he had kind of longer hair, older guy. He sat down and I said, "What are we doing for you today?" He's like, "Oh, we got to take it all off." I said, "Okay, we can do that. How short?" He said, "Well, pretty short." As I'm working on him, he starts talking about why he came in for the haircut. And he says, "I'm going to see a gal that I haven't seen since I was in high school." I was like, "Wow." He goes, "Yeah, it's been 50 years since I've seen her." And I'm like, "All right, well, we'll get you cleaned up, looking nice and everything." And he goes, "Can you do something with my eyebrows? I want to be pretty for her." And so cleaned up his eyebrows, cut off all that long hair, had him looking sharp when he left so he could go see his lady. And that's one of the really fun things about school. We didn't say it was a date, but I got the idea that he was hoping it was a date. So this is kind of before and after of a little transformation for this guy. So this week's review is a movie called Megan is Missing. This is something that I had not heard about at all until about a week ago, and I saw it on a list of movies that you can't watch more than once. And I don't know about you, but for me, I see something like that, I'm like, challenge accepted. And so last night I watched it and was completely blown away. It is a story of a missing girl and her best friend, and it's all told kind of like found footage style. Large parts of it are found footage, but also chunks of it are from their webcams, and then there's like news reports and stuff sprinkled through it. But it was unbelievable. I'll try not to really spoil anything that they don't spoil in the, opening of the movie already. But as I'm watching in the beginning, I'm like, man, these girls are really annoying, and all these people are really... it's a bunch of like high school kids, and if you're not a high school kids can be kind of annoying. It goes very quickly insane. It went to a lot of really dark places, very, very dark places. I could see it being a very triggering movie for certain people. There's definitely discussion as well as some footage of abuse of different kinds. So if that's something that you can't stomach, definitely shy away from it because it is there. There's no nudity or anything like that, but there's a lot of talk and dialogue about things that I could see being hard to hear. But it was just brutal. And there were a couple times in the movie that I just out loud was like, "Oh shit." And it's not like a jump scare type of thing, like the way, a movie like The Conjuring will be, have a certain tone and then all of a sudden it's just jump scares. This was like legitimately unsettling, creepy stuff that you see and you're like, ooh. Personally, I love the Poughkeepsie tapes. That's one of my favorite horror movies. If you've seen that, that's kind of the closest thing I can relate it to tone-wise, of you're sitting there like, man, this is super fucked up, but I just cannot look away. And yeah, there's nobody in it that you know. The director didn't really seem to have done much else that I had heard of, but crazy movie that you should all go out and see right away. It was so good, I can't recommend it highly enough. So one of the best horror movies I've seen in quite a while. So yeah, definitely go out and check that out. Megan is Missing.